You ready? My coach, Barbara H. Smith. Why did I hire her? Because she's the best.
Barbara H. Smith is a powerhouse. She just walks in the room and grabs your attention, and she does that in a way that just makes you feel loved and like she's paying attention to you. She cares about you, and she wants to see you be your best self.
She was able to dig inside and find the passion that was deep within me.
Barbara's energy is one of the reasons that I had to have her as my coach. I love the way she is real with people.
The reason I felt like I needed a coach was because I have some big goals and I needed to build my confidence. I knew that Barbara could help me do that.
I felt that I could trust her.
I would definitely recommend to get coaching from Barbara H. Smith if you feel like you need to level up your confidence. She would just help you feel like bold, like you can take on the world.
She has really shown me who I am. She has changed my mindset to a place that I know that I am more powerful today than I would have ever been if I had never met Barbara Smith.
Do. Hey, it's a Tuesday night. Hi, how are you? Great to be here. Tonight is Tuesday night. That is my favorite night of the week. Greetings to you too, Burrell Worldwide from Beverly Hills. Thank you so much, everybody, for being out there. Today we have a phenomenal show. Hey, Raven Thistle, glad you're here. Listen, the first and most important thing I need to do is bring up my co-host, the sensational Shawnee Smith.
Good evening. It's not just any Tuesday, right? It is Tuesday, February the 1st.
Yes.
You know, we're Black 365.
Yes.
But the kickoff.
Happy to have you here, Shawnee. Happy to have you here too. Barbara Gibson of Captured Images by Barbara. And she's here on time. Yes. Oh my God. We have a phenomenal guest tonight. And without further ado, I just want to jump right in because she is the real deal on this, the first day of February. Every day, 365 is Black History Month. All right, I'm just saying. Our first guest, Princess Dr. Rhoda Zion Alale from I don't want to mess up the tribe, so I'm going to just leave that all alone until she gets up here. She's a Healthy Smart Homes National Scholar and distinguished researcher in residence at the Center of Health Equity at Columbia University, the Teachers College in New York City. She is board certified as both a registered nurse and an environmental health physicist. Her expertise in applied biophysics graced her to design health and agricultural systems for kings in Africa, Saudi Arabia, and business enterprises in Canada. In addition, she is a United States Global Goals Ambassador for Sustainability in Health and Agriculture. She has many awards and is a double gold medalist in environmental engineering innovations for her nanotechnologies inventions. Nanotechnologies, I like the way that even rolls off the tongue, that enhance solar energy systems and reduce the effects of radiation from cell phones and from electronics. Help me bring to the show Princess Dr. Rhoda Zion Alale.
It is indeed an honor from all the way in the middle of all this snow. It's a storm going on out here. And I'm bundled up because I can't afford to get cold. It is cold outside.
Where are you? Are you in New York? Here. Are you in New York?
No, I'm actually in California right now. I mean, California. I just left California. I'm right outside of Cincinnati.
Okay, yeah.
Where, if you've been listening to the weather, you know we're getting a huge snowstorm and ice storm coming in on the home front. But I'm here because of a number of farmers in the area that I work with. Okay. We have a big audit on a big, huge farm out here. And I get this question often. How in the world did you get from nursing all the way over to agriculture?
Well, before you before you even go in there, I want you to talk about the tribe name, first of all, so I can get it right. The tribe name that your husband is from.
He is from the Ijo tribe, and Ijo is spelled I-J-O, but the British spell it I-J-A-W.
Mm-hmm.
So when you research the Ijo tribe of Nigeria, it happens to be the fourth largest tribe in Nigeria. In fact, the previous president of Nigeria was from Ijo.
Okay.
And my husband was the prince of the Ijo tribe out of Agbury, where he was the grandson of King Tubero. And Alali means child of the king.
Okay.
And so everywhere I go, people who are from Nigeria ask me, what royal family are you from in the Ijo tribe? And I tell them I'm from King Tubero's lineage.
Yeah.
And yes.
So that is fabulous. I love that history and I love that lineage story. And many of us don't know what lineage we're from.
Yeah.
I did recently find out from Ancestry DNA that I am from the region of Nigeria. So I was really super excited to hear that you were Alale. And I was so excited to have you on the show. So now let's just switch gears. Thank you for coming. I want you to know that we welcome you here. And Shani and I are going to ask you some questions about I'm super excited to know about your work with electronics, with cell phones and on all that stuff, keeping us safe. Can you talk some about that?
Absolutely. Well, my passion as a nurse has been, I've always worked with really vulnerable populations,
right.
People that have brain injuries, that have multiple diseases, and they can't walk, talk, learn, etc. And I adopted a child with a prognosis that he would never walk, talk, or learn.
Wow.
And that was kind of a God thing. When God leads you down pathways, I found out something, that when you take care of orphans and widows, you get a reward from God.
That's the word right there.
Yeah. So, in my journey, when God called me to be a nurse to this brain injury child that was injured at birth, and ironically, he looks just like me. And I said, he looks just like me. And it just blows people away. And the further that older he got, he looked so much like me that I did a DNA study and found out he's actually a relative. Wow. And so we went down through there and found out he's actually a distant cousin. Imagine that. I was born in Ohio. I'm in Washington, D.C., and this child has a lineage out of Virginia, out of my same town where my mother was born. Wow. Or where my mother's people came from. Isn't that another God thing? But in
only
pursuit
God.
of this,
Only
this
God
child was really sensitive to Wi-Fi. I mean, it would make him just, kind of wow out. He would go into houses, and it was like he would have these meltdowns when the Wi-Fi came on the scene. And
how did you detect that?
Well, when you can have your sanity, and you can be totally balanced, and you go into a building, and all of a sudden you get a lot of anxiety, like, where am I at? What am I doing? And it's just like you're having this out of body experience. And he just went from it like black and white, from a happy-go-lucky kid to this terrorizing, angry child who lost his complete ability to learn in the classroom when they put Wi-Fi in the building. His brain just responded, and he started getting frustrated with trying to load information. He couldn't retain anything until he lost his ability to read, he lost his ability to comprehend, and ended up in the hospital program for almost a year. Wow. And he was losing energy in his brain theta wave, which is on the left side of the brain, and the brain alpha wave. Your theta wave helps you to control your emotions. He lost 60% of the energy that supports the theta wave at 17. And his alpha wave was so unstable, his learning, he could not load and retain.
How do you test for that? There
is a test. Excellent question. A test called a PSE, Paul, Sam, Edward. PSE test. It stands for psychosomatic energetics. It studies the energy of the brain.
Mhm.
And we were fortunate enough because my husband had died in Washington, D.C. He said, I want you to move back to your father's village, which was a small town north of Cincinnati, about 50 miles in the country, called Wilmington, Ohio. And it's the only place that has a private airport. You said we have a military base there.
Right.
It has the largest private airport in the United States. So a lot of express mail companies like Amazon and DHL and Airborne use that facility for their aircraft maintenance.
Okay.
Short of the story was, we moved to that area. I bought a house that was totally electric, not knowing that when you have an electric house and you're near an airport, the magnetic pulse of guiding planes in and out can amplify any type of Wi-Fi. So when we put Wi-Fi, had just come on the scene, put it in that house, and it was like my son walked out of sanity. He would come in this house and he would be totally out of character because this was a happy-go-lucky guy. He would be raging and resistant and oppositional.
How old was he?
17.
Okay.
17. And he was, he had overcome so much. He had became a scholar and a skilled craftsman in Silat martial arts. So he actually made the world touring team and was on a track to become an Olympian in Silat martial arts.
Wow.
He was an American exchange student in Penang, Malaysia, and had been back and forth between Malaysia and the United States for 2 years. So he comes home for summer holiday, and this happens to him. And we're like, what's going on? And the doctors are saying he's losing energy in his brain. And we don't know how that's translating. And so the short of the story is I went to fasting and praying and saying, God, what's going on, God? Just show me the situation. And in the midst of that, I had already prepaid for a conference in Canada. And I went up there looking at the energetics of the brain. And when I got up there, I met doctors from all over the world. And a doctor from Russia walked up to me and said, I've been watching you walk and your gait is off a little bit. And your face, my face was so swollen, I looked like a black Chinese person. And she said, you have the classic presentation of somebody with radiation toxicity. I said, really?
What?
She said, I have a scanner here. And she said, you remember Chernobyl? And I said, yeah. She said, you look just like people after they got exposed to so much radiation. Let me scan your body. And so she scanned my body. And I was there with a group of doctors from Washington, D.C. And they were all marveling at me letting this woman scan my body. And the scanner showed that I was 100% radioactive.
What?
She said to me, do not play with this. She said, do you have ants in your house? I said, I have a terrible ant problem in this house. I mean, ants, thousands of them just come in off the patio and they just walk around like the house is theirs. She said, ants will only infest houses that are highly radioactive. She said, don't play with those ants in your house. Run and get an engineer to come and measure the magnetic pulse in your house because it's high enough to kill you. With you having a presentation like you have, swollen everywhere and highly reactive, she said, when you go home, unplug all unessential electronics in your room, in every room in the house.
What?
She said, turn around in the bed, get your head off the wall and sleep with your head at the foot of the bed or 6 feet away from the wall, everybody in your house, and run and find an engineer that can measure the magnetic pulse of your house. She scared me so bad, I started making phone calls while I was still in Canada. I started calling people. I said, hey, I need an engineer that can measure magnetic pulse and blah, 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 blah. And because I lived so close to a military base, there were nuclear engineers. I said, I need equipment that can quantify the radiation levels and magnetic pulse of my house. And I found a nuclear engineer who had a team of medical doctors and health physicists. And they came to my house and started measuring out. And they said, lady, sit down. We don't know how to tell you this. This house is radioactive. It's so highly radioactive. It could have taken your life if you had not unplugged that electronic, all these electrical devices in your house, turn this Wi-Fi off at night. It
So
could
what
have
would you
saved your
tell?
life.
What would you tell people now that you've exposed all of this radioactivity in your house? What would you tell people as a precaution about their own homes? So maybe we're not all living by an airstrip, but I do know that a lot of homes were built near electrical lines for
Mhm.
poor people, right?
That's such an excellent question, and my answer is check your unplug all the electronics unnecessary. The same thing the lady told me. That's what I tell people. Unplug all unnecessary electronics in your house.
What do you
Turn
call
your stuff
unnecessary
around.
electronics?
Sleep with your head at the foot of the bed. You know, you have to check the wall behind the bed and check your bed. And the way you can
What do
do
you
that,
call
you should be able to go to your
Princess?
wall
Princess,
and take your, pardon me?
what do you call unnecessary electronics?
Okay, when you think unnecessary electronics, like people have the cell phones plugged in near the bed, plug them in the bathroom. All the electrical sound machines, you know, lights that you're charging, flashlights that you're charging, anything. I mean, you should have a lamp. And if you can move to a battery-powered alarm clock or move your alarm clock to the bedroom, that's what you should do. If you have a flat screen TV, it should be unplugged from the wall at night because flat screen TVs emit radiation even when they're turned off.
Yeah.
And so people have all this radiation bombarding them at night and wondering why everybody's getting heart disease. Everybody's having seizures. Do you know seizures have increased in America? We are now 1 in 17 people getting a seizure.
Oh my God.
It's incredible. The national average is just going through the roof with people getting seizures. All the heart disease. Heart disease now kills more women than all the cancers combined.
That's
And
great.
so what is so terrible about so much electronics and electricity? It demineralizes us. It takes down the magnesium and the calcium and the potassium so that we cannot have proper cell function. And that translates to cancer through the roof. So you got to get your head off the wall and you got to check your bed. So after you unplug all of that, learn to sleep with your head at the foot of the bed, or if you can sleep crossways, you've got a big king size bed and you can sleep horizontally on the bed, sleep that way. And then go get 3 compasses. Go to Walmart or wherever, Target, and get you 3 camping compasses. They're about $4, map compasses. Put one at the head of the bed, one in the middle of the bed, and one at the foot of the bed. If north is in front of you, and those compasses are pointing south, east, and west, then your bed is picking up so much electrical static from all of the wall, from the electrical system in the wall, that it's imbalancing the energy of your bed. And that's why people have insomnia. We have 60 million people in America, 64 million people with insomnia. People toss and turn and toss all night long because their box springs have picked up the energetics in the room. And they're imbalanced. The energy is imbalanced. So that's my campaign. Get your head off the wall and check your bed. Get your head off the wall and check your bed. We can dance to that one. Get your head off the wall and check the bed.
Get your head off the wall and
check the wall. Wow. I want everybody to Google muscle response testing. Muscle response testing.
Oh my God, this is such good.
It's 5,000 years old. I know everybody wants to tell you that it's not cool, it's not smooth in medicine. Medicine is so disrespectful. It's, you know, one of those coof things. That couldn't be further from the lie. Because if you're getting physical therapy for any reason and they need to rehab the muscle, they're going to give you resistance testing to make sure the rehab program is working. So they're still using muscle response testing in physical therapy. Okay. So now how are you going to muscle response test to see if the energetics are too high in your bedroom? When I say energetics, I'm talking about the electrostatic All electrical appliances give off a field, an electrical field.
Yes.
It's called, electrical field, electrical force.
Dr. Alale,
Yes.
I need you to breathe for a second here. Hold on.
Yes, girl.
Hold on. Hold on there, Marvin. Hold on.
She's like, I gotta get you this information. Okay.
Okay, Miss
We got
Burr.
some people out here that have some questions like Cherie Burrell says, thank you so much, Dr. Alale. And she's been telling people for years to unplug electrical items and did not know how to explain it the way you explained it in your terminology.
Thank you.
Barbara from Captured Images by Barbara says, what about the other homes in the neighborhood? Did the city ever find out what was going on in your home? So I'm gonna let you answer that question before I go back to Sister Burrell.
Yes. Everyone on my street developed cancer. Every house. Because we found out we were living in what is classified as a radiation zone 1.
Oh my God.
Yes. Now,
And
where
they
can
built
you get
those
this?
houses knowing that, didn't they?
Yes, they knew. What does a radiation zone 1 mean? It means the dirt is highly radioactive with uranium.
Oh my God.
So you
And
can't even have a party.
uranium gives off radon gases.
Yes.
And it had other chemicals that were highly conductant of electrostatic that made the static in the house so high.
Wow. Zalika
Yes.
said, wow. I said, wow. Listen, got another question for you. This comes from my mom. She want to know, what do you say about electric beds, the ones that go up and down?
This is what I say. Electric beds are so convenient. Some of them are crafted with filters. Some of them aren't. So if you're buying an electric bed that has a mitigation filter, meaning that it takes out the electrostatic.
How do
So
you
a
know? How do
compass.
you know? How do you know?
That is a great question. How do you know? You sit down on the bed, you put out your arms like a tree, and you have somebody push down on your arm while you're sitting on that bed. If your arm falls down, that bed has no filter. If your arm stays up and you can sit on the bed and remain strong, that bed has a filter.
Okay. So I got to do this test now because my mama on this bed now. I'm just checking. So
Yes.
you're on the bed.
Right?
She puts her arms out.
Yes.
I push her arms down.
Yes.
If her arms go down,
Yes.
what?
There's no filter in that bed. Or the
If her arms stay up,
filtration
if she can resist me.
system is not strong enough.
Okay, if she can resist me.
Then there's a
Good.
filtration system in the bed that is strong enough. Yes.
Okay, so say you have this bed. It's not strong enough. Is there anything we can do for the bed, or do we just have to get rid of the bed and get a whole new bed?
That is such a great question. No, that's what I specialize in. There's my nanotechnology that you can get my technology and put it on the bed, and boom, seconds.
Wait.
It balances
On the
out the
bed?
energy and creates a resistance.
On the bed?
On the bed, in the mattress. And several people say it enhances the quality of their sleep. Now, I will tell you, my nanotechnology, my gold medals are that I make these mitigation systems that bounce out the radiation and bounce it and neutralize it in electronics. And I can show you a picture of one. And I apologize, I don't have the packaging with me because I'm on the road and it's snowing outside and it was too cold for me to go out there and get my bag. But this is what it looks like. This little postage stamp is one of them that I made. I'll take it out of the bag so you can see it. It's this thin. I had to make it thin because I had to put it.
Can normal people afford it? Can normal people afford it?
Normal people can afford this. They're on sale right now for $20 on the website.
Okay, let's
the regular $59.
Give that website like right now. Is that it?
Yournanos.com. Your like YOUR.
Mark,
Nanos.
Mark, I need you. Mark, I need you.
Yournanos.com. There are so many miracles that I have with children with seizures that doctors now prescribe these. And I will have to give a disclaimer. they were not engineered. I don't know if you can see this.
Yes, we can
Put
see
a
it.
little back,
See it.
see if I can get
Yes, you can see it.
okay.
We can see it.
Okay, I was trying to see if I had a white background to put up here so you can see it better. But nevertheless, it's ultra thin,
I see
and
that.
it goes into any electronic. Cell phone, you put it in the case, tablets. If you have it in your cell phone, you actually turn your cell phone into a guardian for you. Because when you have your cell phone with the Nano
Mhm.
and you set it down within 3 inches of your laptop, it will mitigate everything electronic around you for 12 feet. Whether you have a printer, a fax machine, or whatever, for 12 feet in both directions, you're going to have mitigation field.
Leave that up, Mark. I
Yes.
want to see that
When
question.
you drive it with it in a car, you plug your phone in with the Nano in your case, it biobalances the whole car and 10 feet around the car. So I have so many people that have seizures. They can't ride in cars without having seizures now that are able to take trips and ride in car without a seizure because this puts them kind of in an envelope. Yes.
Wow.
These technologies, the disclaimer is they were not engineered to treat, diagnose, or prevent or cure diseases.
Okay.
But what they do is adapt the environment to keep you balanced so that you can respond to the treatment regimens that your doctor has given you. And as a result of that, medical doctors are now using them to build treatment systems for children with Tourette's. Remember, I told you my son became explosive like somebody with Tourette's?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now we can put these in cell phones or put them in a bag with even a key, your car keys that has a one of those fobs on them that you can electronically open and close the door. We can put this Nano or a phone with the Nano in a sandwich bag with a key fob, put it in the backpack of children, and it puts them in an invisible bubble that keeps them balanced.
It's a force field. Hold on 1 second. Breathe. You breathe. Cherie Burrell has a question I want to answer. What about devices in your bodies when physicians put pacemakers and mesh, and isn't that a concern? What should you ask the doctors about that?
Well, the new pacemakers actually come with a technology much like this. So I have zillions of people with pacemakers and meshes that use the technology in their cell phones, because when you have those kinds of devices in the body, many of them are conducting of electrostatic. And so this biobalancer is it's just natural frequencies. It's an energy, it's a natural energy that God gave me to balance and discharge electrostatic. So I actually have doctors putting these on people that are going in the operating room because it keeps the electrostatic out of the body. So it enhances healing, especially for people who are compromised with healing, like people that have high blood pressure, vascular disease, diabetes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me ask you this question. So what if you have like an implant? You have a knee replacement or a hip replacement.
It's excellent. It's excellent for people that have, those type of prostheses, because what it does, again, it helps the body discharge electrostatic. So when you don't have static in your body, everybody is able to act normal and be balanced.
Well, we need a whole bunch of that at the school. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, 65,000 of them sold. 65,000. These nanos are creating a revolution. In fact, we just got a testimony in from Montreal, Canada. One of the famous wrestlers up there, his wife had a brain tumor. And so the engineers, I've trained 10 engineers up there. They went to her house, they retrofitted her house, remediated the house. But because she had this tumor, they put one of these in the phone, but you can put this in a flashlight and increase the power of it times 100. You just put it in over the lens, and she gave herself like 5-second treatments to this tumor for about 3 minutes a day. They were waiting. She had the tumor for like 8 months, and they were waiting till it got big enough. So she went in at the time that they had projected to take it out, and they did another MRI and came back and said, She said, I really feel good. I don't know that I really need the surgery, but if I have to have it, they said, well, we can't find the tumor.
Oh my God.
That made the front page of the newspaper in Montreal.
Hold that thought. We're at the top of the hour, 30 minutes in. We have the incomparable Princess Dr. Rhoda Zion Alali with us. She's got phenomenal information. We got 2 questions from Captured Images that we're going to get when we come right back after the break. Don't you go away.
Engage, inspire, empower. That's what I help you do as a celebrity, speaker, trainer, and coach. Hi, I'm Barbara H. Smith, known as the Masterful Presenter. I am the one that can help you dig deep inside your passions and deep inside your life to get you to the place you always dreamed.
I had the pleasure of hearing Miss Barbara Holmes Smith speak today, and just from her speaking to me today, I have realized that I need to have personalize my alter ego and be able to put myself out there a lot more.
I help through speaking techniques, teaching you how to use your words and your body language to inspire people to come up higher.
Today's presentation with Ms. Barbara was just outstanding. She has really helped me with her personality, with her being so genuine and passionate about what she believes in and helping to coach, train. Her sense of humor, her energy is just incredible.
How do I do that? By coaching and speaking and training. I help you with whatever it is that you want to do next. What is your next? Are you ready to take your life, your career to the next level? I can get you there. Contact me at www.barbarahsmith.com.
We are back. Oh my God. If you have missed the first 30 minutes of this show, you have missed a lot. Guess what though? You can get it on replay. Okay. So
where can you get it on replay?
Check it out on
bit.ly/BHS YouTube. That's where you can get it. Make sure you get it. Can you believe this? I almost feel like I'm finding out some information that I got to be hiding from, that I'm not even supposed to know about. Okay.
Yeah. Like nobody knows this stuff. And where do you get it? You get it on the Barbara. You get it on. So we want to talk to
nanos.com.
We want to talk to the questions. We have Captured Image by Barbara wants to know, wouldn't the sellers of the bed know if there's a filter built into the bed, or would you be able to find out from the bed manufacturer?
Absolutely. Now here's the challenge. In the 1970s, we have always known electricity was a Class B carcinogen. When you talk about electricity, you're talking about nuclear energy. Once upon a time in America, everything that's electric was required to have a filter. But under the Nixon era, electricity got declassified. Electronics got declassified. And somebody made the decision that we necessarily didn't need filters in electronics anymore.
Wow.
Remember when internet first came out with the DSL?
Yep.
Remember it plugged into the phone line?
Yep.
You remember it had a filter. Because
Yep.
if it didn't have a filter, it was going to injure you. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay. And so what happened to our filters? We need those filters back, in my opinion. And so because there's no filters, you have the responsibility of assessing your purchases that are electronic. Yeah. And if they are creating an imbalance, you can hold anything electric. And have somebody give you some resistance, if your resistance goes down, that electrical appliance is a potential source of injury. That's why my nanos took all the gold medals, because we were able to show whether you were filtered or not filtered. We were going to balance you with this nano chip that has nano frequencies made out of natural fabrication and natural frequencies. Because I serve the Most High God, and I needed something for a vulnerable child. Yeah. And let me tell you about the heaven in you. Your imagination is phenomenal. Genius is common in you. Every single one of you is a genius.
Drop the mic on that.
You don't know what to do. He said, I will give you witty inventions. And so when they told me my son at 17 was losing his brain energy and becoming a child, I said, the devil is a liar. And I went to the Most High God and said, what are you going to do? Give me a witty invention. And not only did he give me the witty invention, he gave me favor with millionaires from around the world, from Rome, Italy. These men paid for me to go to Germany to go to a conference in Germany and conference in England to try to figure it out. Because he will send people to pay your way and make a way for you when you don't have resources to make a way. And then he gave me access to laboratories, and he began to give me the designs and visions and dreams and visions. Because I found out that the enrollment process is, if you come to him and confess your faults or confess your needs, and you say to him, I believe Jesus Christ died, went in that grave and came out with the dunamis resurrection power, and I'm giving you this situation. Here's the magic in that. He said, I will perfect my strength in your weakness. God began to perfect my strength. I'm happy this day. God began to perfect my strength. He began to perfect my wisdom. He began to show me things. My son, he said, Mama, do I have to test it again? Yes, son. But it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, I don't care. I got the revelation right now. I can take my son, he's trying to sleep until I could get the formulary right. And then God began to show me how to make systems for houses. Now I'm making systems for barns. Are you ready for this? I got tubes made out of this stuff. I put it in the chicken barn. The chickens increase egg production 125% in 1 week. We have whole systems that balances out the house.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Miss Barbara.
Hold on. You know I gotta stop you right there. Stop it. I got a question out here from Barbara again from Captured Images. Wants to know, this won't interfere with your car, will it? Your car computer, will it?
Not at all. These things have been around for 12 years.
Okay.
In fact, some people say it makes your car run better. Here's the thing. It increases gas mileage.
Okay, I need about 2, 3, 4 of them right now. Okay.
Okay, sign me up for a dozen. When
you plug your phone in, now I only have data on about 5 different types of cars: Hondas, Toyotas, Nissans, Suburbans. We had a big Suburban. We drove from Cincinnati to 20 miles north of.
You don't even breathe.
DC.
Dr. Lolly.
Yes. I got stories. I
know, but you got to let us get in when we finish. Charlene. Okay. Hey, Charlene. So glad you're here. Zalika said, preach it. Appreciate the invite by Cherie. Thank you, Cherie, for inviting Charlene. She's in for a treat right here. Question again for you. All right. It's actually not a question, but a statement. You probably already have some inroads, but Cherie wants to know, saying you should petition the medical advisory board at the White House.
Excellent idea, because I presented this when I won the gold medal, my first gold medal. I got an invitation from President Barack Obama to come and present this to the Energy and Environmental Committee. And I did go to the White House. And so, but the medical advisory board, that is key, because now there are about 6 doctors that write these for prescriptions for patients with seizures and that have Tourette syndrome and all kinds of brain injuries. So that is, thank you. You tell her I said, thank you. I'm gonna make some notes for that myself.
Yeah, so that's a great tip. So get in where you fit in. And that's kind of what I'm doing on my own show right now, just saying. Dr. Lolly has all of this great information. Thank you, Shawnee Smith, for bringing her to my attention. But Dr. Lolly, you got to let us, you got to breathe a little bit. I know you got stories, baby. You got stories.
Well, I appreciate this ocean water beside me. You got me in paradise, and I love blue water, white sands. So I'm still in the sun right now.
especially in this weather, right?
I want to thank you so much for all you've already done, but tell us how we get in touch with you.
The best way to get in touch with me is by email. You can go to medhealthelectric.com. Med, M-E-D, the word health, Health, and the word electric, ELECTRIC at gmail.com. Medhealthelectric@gmail.com.
Okay, so that's your website.
And when you go to MedHealth Electric, you'll see we are actually now under a nationwide call to action. Dr. Regina Benjamin, the second African-American Surgeon General, put out this nationwide call to action under the Obama administration to let us know the electrical interfaces in our houses were too high and the chemical interfaces are too high. Even Hollywood, Fran from The Nanny, Fran Drescher, she has a campaign telling everybody, lower your air and radiation exposure. Wow. This is something we got to do because our houses are making us sick. Our houses.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yes, Columbia University is saying 95% of these cancers are coming because you have such high radiation and such high chemicals in your house. And we have to do something about it now. So what can we do now? Now you can unplug all these unnecessary electronics in your bedroom, unplug the TV at night because it gives off too much radiation. Second thing you can do, add fruit to your diet. We need to increase our fruit. We should be eating 6 servings of fruit a day.
Whoa.
Because we need enzymes for cellular function to keep us detox.
People can't have that much fruit when they're diabetic.
Girl, I'm glad you said that. I'm diabetic. I've been diabetic 30 years. Do you know I went to the Wildwood Executive Health Retreat down outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee? It's an extent, and when I came in there with type 2 diabetes, the first thing my endocrinologist said to me, I'm putting you on 6 servings of fruit for breakfast. I said, but I'm diabetic. She said, that's why you're diabetic. You don't have enough enzymes in your diet. So I said, okay. I did 2 days with 6 servings of fruit. By the second day, my blood sugar dropped so low, they had taken me off of 80% of all my medications. Then she said, you are having poor digestion, so I'm going to put you on 2 more servings of fruit. I said, 8 servings of fruit. They said, yes, you're going on 2 more servings of fruit for dinner because we want the stomach empty. They put me on 2 more servings of fruit.
That'll empty it out, that's for sure.
And my blood sugars came to normal in the morning. They were spiking at around 4 o'clock. And they were a little high at dinner time, but normal fasting. And for the first time in my 31 years of being a diabetic, I had a normal hemoglobin A1C.
Wow.
Yes. So Wildwood Executive Health, you can get on their plan. They specialize in reversing people out of diabetes using natural foods.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I got another question.
Just let your food be your medicine.
We know another question. And Barbara, don't you worry, sweetheart, about taking over the conversation because you're not. Dr. Lolly is, for your information. Dr. Lolly is doing that for you. Just saying. She wants to know, in her household, her and her husband, and they both have cell phones and laptops. How many of the nanos do I need to start off with? Ooh, great.
Yes. Yes. If she's got, I would put one on each one of them. Because the laptops travel out and they're not always with your cell phone. And here's the blessing of the nano. They love each other. They talk to each other. So if you have them close to each other, they just make a stronger field.
Wow. I hope that answers your question, Barbara. I love that question. That's a great answer. There's 3 of us in this house with cell phones and 1 of us with a laptop. So 3 nanos, 4 nanos. What do you say?
4. 1 for each cell phone and 1 for the laptop.
Okay. All right. I like
and
that.
If you buy 5, you get 1 for free.
Well, we need the bed.
Your mom in the bathroom. We need the bed.
Right. Yes, because yes, you can't put the nano on your bed.
Wait, you got to do that first.
Said, well, wait,
you can put 1 nano in between your mattress and your box spring. People do that all the time. And the gas savings, it increases 1 to 6 miles per gallon.
Like we need 10.
Yes. When you have your cell phone, you plug it in your car to charge it. It's going to biobalance your car 10 feet around your car and increase your gas mileage from 1 to 6 miles a gallon, depending upon your car.
Ooh, girl.
I got a gas drinking Nissan Armada truck.
So
it increased my gas mileage 6 miles a gallon.
So we got to contact you at www.medhealthelectric.com to get the nanos.
You get the nanos at yournanos.com.
Okay.
Med Health Electric is my company where I do whole houses. Okay. I'm a design engineer for making you have a smart house. We can convert any house into a smart house. Now, what's a smart house? A smart house saves you money. We turn windows into solar panels that save you money, and we retrofit and take static out of everything, your electric panel, your water system, your gas system, the air, so that your house hugs you, it heals you, it rebalances you, it restores you. And we've been able to take children with 1,000 seizures a day down to maybe 1 or 2 seizures a week. And children that can't learn, we've been able to restore the brain. Matter of fact, if you go to yournanos.com on the homepage, you'll see a little girl. When I met her, she couldn't talk, she couldn't walk, she couldn't learn. All she could do is drool and seize. Wow. And the short of the story is, in 24 hours, she made her first sound. In 3 days, her seizures went from like 2,000 seizures a week down to maybe about 5 minutes of seizures a week. And her brain turned on in about 6 weeks of being in this house. She had the audacity to graduate high school this summer and has written 25 books. She's the youngest member of my team, and she got the Edward N. Kennedy Award for writing her protocol. The Morgan Lee protocol says, put this nano in a necklace around your neck, and it will keep you seizure reduced or seizure free. And because of her protocol, 4 little girls are alive.
Wow.
The doctors are using her protocol to save lives and direct the use of this nano for environmental adaptation. That's why we said what your friend said about me contacting the medical office at the White House. I'm on that tonight.
Awesome.
Because I just got a text from a medical doctor who is an electrical engineer who uses it for her daughter who has Tourette syndrome. Wow. And she said to me, anywhere you're going, anywhere you are, I'm here to support you 100%.
That is amazing.
And there's 2 major articles out on the technology now. They're saying that the technology supports atmospheric pressure, the increase of atmospheric pressure, which supports circulation in the body. And that's why there are 3 schools that have the total system. They say the children increase learning, their behavior is more balanced and more surreal, more subdued, and their learning outcomes increase. All of these F and D students are now C, B, and A students.
This needs to be in everybody's school.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody's school, everybody's home, everybody's car.
Yes.
So
everybody's job too.
Yeah. Let me ask this question. So you talked about smart homes. Are you suggesting that the smart homes be already built, or are you building the smart home from scratch?
Girl, we can turn a shack into a smart home. In fact, we are mitigating houses in communities that don't even have electricity, like the Amish community. We have systems built for them because we're on our way to remote places of Africa. We have got to help the Amish people. They're in trouble because they have waters and windows. Anytime you have windows and water, anytime a window is highly conductant of electrostatic. People don't know that if you put Wi-Fi in your house, you make your house at risk for every window to be a taser gun.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes. The static in the window can get as high as a taser gun. Every person with multiple sclerosis, MS, that we have worked with that had a brain lesion, if the lesion was on the right side, the first question I asked, is there a window on the right side of your bed? The answer has been 100% yes. If they have a lesion on the left side, I ask, is there a window within 3 to 4 feet on the left side of your bed, 100% of the questions have been yes. Soon as we mitigate those windows, miracles have been happening. Lesions disappear. And we have one MS client that is a registered nurse. She was a colleague of mine, a professor of mine, and she was on about 22 meds since 1979. She got to the point where she was falling down every day. We raised the money and mitigated her house. She rebalanced. The lesions in her brain healed. She is off of all her medication and as strong as an ox. She has the audacity to be building a clinic in Benin.
So
yes. So smart, we can transform anything into a smart house. And my hope is that construction will be mandated. We can no longer build houses that we know making people sick. We can no longer have fabrications and textiles in our homes that are going to hurt us and give us heart disease and diabetes and rage. Look at all the killings. Everybody's going ballistic, and you have to ask the question, did the brain get drained of magnesium? This was a sweet person. How many stories have you heard about a sweet person that was responsible for his or her family, and they wake up in the middle of the night and get a gun and just kill everybody? In $1 million house with money overflowing in the bank account. What's that all about? We now have to stop and ask, is the electric maybe too high? And the question that these scientists in Durham just gave me is that, are we decreasing atmospheric pressure and creating like the bends? You know, you scuba diving. If you go down too low and your equipment can't accommodate the oxygen, you get the bends. So what happens when you get the bends? You start getting muscle pain, like fibromyalgia, okay, and muscle cramps. You start getting short-term memory loss, like dementia and Alzheimer's. You get anxiety, hyper-anxiety, like you want to just explode. And you have to know, you have to come up because you're down too far.
Right.
And one of the scientists said to me, Dr. Lally, my working hypothesis is that your technology for the whole building increases atmospheric pressure. Because across the board, we're seeing these children with calm behaviors, and every one of them that was failing has a increased learning outcome. And they have been engaged in the classroom. And so, yes, Miss Smith, I'm excited about having the opportunity to be on your show because you are a celebrity speaker, trainer. Your genius is common and real.
Listen,
and you got me breathing, girl. You got me breathing, exhaling here.
That's good.
That's for change. This is my ministry that we should be. It is our divine right to have a healthy home that keeps us happy, so that we can do the things of God, the purpose of God, have the joy of God. This life, the kingdom of God is doing the right thing, having peace and joy in the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Now, there is one problem with my technology that I got to tell you the con.
Okay,
it increases fertility.
Okay, so I ain't gonna worry about that part.
If we do I don't want to hear that the doctor said you cannot have babies. Go ahead.
I ain't have listen. It's gonna be immaculate conception up in this seat.
We got 9 babies in the world. They said
that is not gonna happen. I don't care what. Look, we about to buy $100 worth. Barbara Gibson says she just ordered 2, so I'm about to order 4. And Dalika Jones out there, my daughter, right? My daughter out there saying, "Go ahead with yourself, Dr. Alali." Cherie Burrell is out there. Awesome, Dr. Alali. Go for the goal. Can't wait to see you in the White House. We, community of colors, need to be educated. Thank you so much. You're also, according to Cherie, should petition for contract with hospitals. They need this so much because radiating people and inserting things into their bodies is going to need some help around here. And Barbara said, like me, the 2 Barbers agree right here. We like this. We passed the fertility point. I don't care what you say.
But you're animals. See, we told the farmer this. We said, now we have to warn you when we do the barns, You're going to increase fertility. He said, oh, I'll worry about that. He had one bull. Usually one bull will fertilize 30 heifers. And that's a real word for a female cow.
I know.
Okay.
Ferdinand the bull was out there getting it in.
And he called the vet to get ready to buy. He actually leased another bull, but the vet said, for what? All 50 of these cows pregnant.
Ferdinand was getting it in.
Bull. He turned up the power of that bull.
Ferdinand was shooting bullets. He won't shoot bullets.
Oh my God!
All them heifers was pregnant.
Yes.
This has been some show tonight. I tell you the truth. Thank you so much, Dr. Olali. We get in touch with Dr. Olali tell us again where we get in touch.
MedHealthElectric at gmail.com. MedHealthElectric at gmail.com. And if you want those nanos, you can get them at
Your Nanos.
Yeah, yournanos.com.
We
even have nanos for cats and dogs. We have cats and dogs with hypersensitivity love the nano. You just put it on their collar, and when I tell you they cool out, it's just minutes. These animals cool out. But again, it increases fertility.
You don't want no little puppies running around there, little kids running around there.
Right, unless you're selling them, right?
Well,
yes.
You have been a joy to have with us. I want to talk some for a moment. I want you to not leave us. Stay in the green room. We're going to see you on the other side.
Okay.
In a few more minutes. I want to talk to you a little bit more after the show. Thank you so much for being here with Dr. Olali. I will see you in a few moments.
Okay, wonderful. I look forward to conversation.
Genius is common, right?
Yeah, so genius is coming, right? I am genius.
Yes.
Wow. That was power. And so there's so much information that we don't know. And that's what I love about this show, Shawnee. We are bringing Yes. But if you want to get in touch with Dr. Olali, make sure you get those website addresses that we left for you, as well as yournanos.com to get your nanos. Really inexpensive to keep you safe. Thank you so much for being out there. It has been an exciting day, and it is your time. It's your time to shine. What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life? Do you want to stay where you are and how you are? Well, I want to tell you, if you don't, which you shouldn't, it's your time.
Right.
If not now, then when?
Right.
If not you, then who? Get the book to help you if you're stuck. I'm going to look at this on page 43. This is your time. This is your moment. It's time for you to get rid of those self-defeating thoughts. It's time for you to stop resisting the simple desire for change, isn't it? The beginning is all in your mind and what you say to and about yourself. You know that inner critic, that one that says, you cannot, that chatterbox that you always fight with, that we all always fight with. Don't get it twisted. I got that same chatterbox just like you. But we got to change our mindset, and we got to do it by beginning to speak what we want, not what we don't. My mother says that to me all the time. As I said earlier, words are power, and they have the best way of changing your mind by changing your words. And that's the direction you want to go in. The direction that says, I want this. For example, instead of saying to yourself, I wish I could get out of this place, or I'll never get out of relationships, say instead, I will get out of this place, and give it a date. I am moving from this relationship, and give it a date. Or I am going to just stake the claim and call it someday. Are you just going to stake the claim and say, oh, I'll do it someday? Well, guess what? Someday's not on the Get the book, get the help. Speak Coach Train Strategies to Discover Your Passion will help you and get you there. Shawnee?
If you didn't see it at the bottom, that's bit.ly/BHS book. Get your copy. It will change your life. If you don't know where you're going, where you want to go, this is the roadmap to get you there.
Love it, love it, love it. Roadmaps, love it, love it. Love that plug right there. Barbara Gibson, I'm so glad you tuned in too. Thank you, Cherie, for being here today. Thank you again, all the guests that dropped by to say hi, to just check in. We always have awesome information. We know what time it is. It's time for you to step into your greatness because the world is waiting for you.
Right.
That's our time. Have a great evening.
Thank you so much.